Lovely spin on that ball from Chia Jin-wen. David Wu had a really tough task. He managed to get across and get a paddle on it, but no chance of keeping that in. Both these players playing quite cautiously against each other, but it's Chia Jin-yen that's making the fewer mistakes and coming up with the more exotic spin shots at the moment. Went for it big time there and he missed out. Frustrated, but still in a commanding position to take the opening game. He's 9-6. If he can win this second service point in his rotation and have 5 game points, and he does that quite easily, so he's raced through here to what should be a comfortable first game win. Chia Jin-yen does just that, takes it 11-6. So second game is underway. Nearest to us now, representing Safra 1, it's Chia Jin-yen, won the first game at 11-6. David Wu of Sunsport over there on the far side. Incidentally, up next, the first doubles rubber. It will be Bibing Ji and Donovan Go against Daniel Ng and Jaden Fu of Safra 1 and Sunsport Junior 2 respectively. But Safra 1 only had 1 reverse so far, and their fixtures still to come this afternoon are against KTS, which will be a really interesting battle, and then Sunsport Leisure. We've had a really good competition, Safra 1, and have outperformed already, really, you'd have to say, the Safra A team. We had that disappointing loss in our first game of the day against KTS. Really good aggressive shot from Chia Jin-yen. He's taking control here in this second game. At the moment, David Wu struggling to find answers. You're watching live ATT Singapore National Table Tennis League 2018 coverage on 11 Sports and the Singapore Table Tennis Players Facebook page. What a great morning we've had so far. Really good table tennis between KTS and Safra A. And still to come this afternoon with an estimated start time of 2 p.m. Singapore time. It's Safra A against the defending champs and favourites to win this year, Sunsport Elite, before we finish off with KTS against the New Century Table Tennis Club. Keep calling them New Circle. Not sure what that is. 6-2 lead for Chia in the second. That was an ambitious shot from David Wu, just didn't get it back down on the table in time. And they've raced through this game in rapid time. Already 7-2 lead for Chia. Both of them going for their shots early. It's leading to some quick fire points, and we're racing through the games here. Really deep serve, that was from David Wu, but it reacted well. Chia Jin-yen. And if he can win this point on David Wu's service rotation, he'll fancy closing this one out 11-3. Sat up really well there for David Wu, and he put it away well. Chia managed to get something on it, but not enough. Still though, Chia with a 4-point lead in game number 2. Just right into the body of David Wu. It's just we've seen sometimes the best place to play it really leaves your opponent in a muddle. Oh, high quality rally. Chia Junyen showing really ice cool nerve here. He's being very ruthless here. There's no taking the foot off the gas, and he's going to close this game out surely, sooner rather than later. Back with a David Wu serve. Mountain to climb, facing 6 game points. And Chia Junyen ruthlessly puts away the first to take the second game 11-4, and already Safra 1 are looking good to win the first rubber here. David Wu unable to have any answers to the skill of Chia Junyen. So we're underway with this third game. Chia Junyen has put on a masterclass so far. Can David Wu find any response in game number 3? Wu to start. Another good service return from Chia, forces David Wu to go long. Just also looking at the numbers on the bench for the Sunsport Junior 2. I can't see enough players there to be able to play doubles. So I wonder whether we're going to have a forfeiture here or whether some of the players are just off elsewhere. Got a huge squad, a huge number of teams entered into the division Sunsport. So you see the situation there is. David Wu gets his scoreboard ticking over with that good attacking forehand shot, the lefty. Well, that's serve from Chia Junyen. You could see it, just David Wu didn't know whether it was sunshine or rain. Better from Wu there. David Wu, this is much better in this third game. I'm delighted to say Bernard Tan has rejoined me. And Bernard, good to have you back. Commiserations, Safra A. Unable to get it done against KTS, but Safra 1, and this young lad in particular, Chia Junyen, is still flying the flag high in Division 1 for your Safra club.
Well, Junyen is one of our up-and-coming players, and he has acquitted himself quite well in the last match between himself and the Sunsport Elite player. And I think he will do well in this particular match against the Sunsport Junior team.
Actually, you can help us out with that, because, of course, that was the game from earlier on, wasn't it? The Sunsport Elite. What happened in that one? That was played on table 17.
Junyen took a game off Tuan Lin Zhen, one of the star players of this league. He was impressive in his victory yesterday and today.
Sunsport Elite took the 2 points, did they?
Yes.
But what was the scoring game in matches, do you know?
I think they managed to take one of the doubles.
Right.
And although they lost the other ties, but they were quite close. And in the last singles between Junyen and Duan, there was a very good game for Chia Junyen, because he managed to take one game off Duan in that match.
Well, Chia's looked really impressive here. He's had David Wu running left and right. He won the first game 11-6, the second 11-4, and as you see, it's a bit closer in this third, but he's still edged ahead. And he's got one more serve on this service rotation. His serve has caused David Wu all kinds of problems. Managed to get a service point back there, David Wu. And again, help educate us here, Bernard, because we're looking at the 2 team benches over there. I only see 4 other Sunsport Junior 2 players. Does that mean they're likely to forfeit one of the doubles, or could it be the players are elsewhere in the arena?
I believe their players should be all here this morning. Daniel and Jalen are going to come up next in the doubles. They are both there. Regis is also present. So I think at least
I've seen Kei Shin-shi, he's there as well.
That's right.
Just wonder where Men Wong and Hung Ru Xiong are. But anyway, it might be.
I believe they are somewhere in the arena.
So yes, it might be a moot point anyway, because this is a really strong start from Safra 1. I'm sure Chow would like to close this out in straight games. He's going to be behind for the first time in the match, I believe. It's the first time that David Wu's got a lead in any of the games, and it's taken him to the 16th point of the third game to be in that position. Doesn't last very long though, and now, of course, you have his serve to defend. So it's a strong start for Safra 1 here, who realistically, if you can beat Sunsport Elite, I know it's a big ask, there's still a couple of permutations that might prevent Sunsport Elite from lifting the title, unlikely as it obviously is.
No, I think Sunsport Elite is now the overwhelming favourite to lift the title this year. And I think barring any unforeseen circumstances, by the end of the day, the title would be theirs.
Okay, well, we'll see them in action in our first afternoon game against yourself, Bernard, and Safra A. Meanwhile, David Wu with a couple of points. Now just 1 point left to take a game, which would be impressive, bearing in mind how easily he was swatted aside in the first two. Sensibly, Chao Junyen takes his time. He can save this on his serve. His serve's caused David Wu problems, and that's been the story of David Wu's afternoon here, or late morning, I should say. That serve and the spin on it really causing him issues. We're at deuce. Too good, Chao Junyen, and he now brings up match point, Bernard.
Yeah, but I think Junyen will be looking forward to close up this game at 3-0 on his serve.
Gets
And
it
I
done.
think he does that, yes.
Superb start from Chao Junyen in rapid fire time. He wins 11-6, 11-4, 12-10, and Safra 1 have their first rubber on the board. Up next, Beibing Ji and Donovan Go against Daniel Ng and Jaden Fu of Safra 1 and Sunsport Juniors 2 respectively. Stay with us for that shortly. So welcome back, live action about to resume. It's the first doubles rubber with Safra taking the first singles in straight games. Chad Junyen beating David Wu. Now it's up to Safra's Beibing Z and Donovan Go against Sunsport Juniors 2, Daniel Ng and Jaden Fu. And it's Daniel and Jaden on the far side as you watch on your screens. Nearest to us it's Beibing and Donovan. And one thing about these youngsters when they play, I don't know if it's an optical illusion, Bernard, the games seem to go much, much quicker. The impetuousness of youth, they want to get on with the points very quickly indeed.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I think with the youngsters coming up nowadays, the pace, the speed that they play with, sometimes it's just mind-boggling.
It's a strong start from Beibing and Donovan. That forehand attempt to punch that back and chop it back from Donovan Go, just falling short. They lured Sunsport into a big shot attempt there. It was Daniel Ng that went for the shot there and it went long. So set advantage to Safra 1.
On the Sunsport serve, now they are 3-5.
Yes,
And I think the Safra team will be looking to pull away from
yes,
now on.
The Sunsport Junior 2 team in danger of relegation, but what experience these youngsters will have coming up against some of the calibre of players they've played against this weekend at this fantastic festival of table. It's a festival of table tennis, this really, isn't it? It's not really a league, it's more of a carnival atmosphere. A league gives the impression it's sort of over a period of months, but obviously a whole league played inside 2 days.
Yep. But I was telling you yesterday that some of our clubs participating in the competitions, we are thinking of changing this and try to see a longer season out, at least in the next 1-2 years.
Great idea. There's definitely an appetite for it. That just goes long from Jaden Fu. And they are, as Bernard suggested, they might do, pulling away now, Beibing and Donovan. Lovely work. And a great shot from Donovan Go there. Brings up 9-5, 2 points away from taking the first game. Now just one. They've got 5 game points here. They're working really well as a team unit, the Safra team as well. And you were mentioning to me, I must apologise, I can't remember whether it was on mic or off mic. I think it might have been off mic. These 2 players from Safra 1 go to rival schools as well. So at school they'll have different doubles partners.
Yeah, I think Bingzi and Donovan are from Raffles, and Jaden and Daniel are from Hwa Chong.
Right.
Oh,
So sorry, I misunderstood that. So they would play with each other at school as well,
they will play
but they're familiar with each other as a team on the school circuit.
Exactly.
11-7, they take the first game out, do Beibing Shi and Donovan Go, and it's looking good for Safra 1 to open up a 2-0 lead, but we've seen some big comebacks already today, so the second game will be interesting. So again, Bernard, Safra 1 taking a strong initiative at the start of game number 2 here. They look like they've got the two Sunsport boys on the ropes here.
I think the Safra 1 team is, the pairing is in form now, doing very well in all competitions, I think.
I mean, how important, particularly at this level, and we were talking a high level here, Division 1, how important is it when you've got a team and a pairing that are familiar with playing with each other? I mean, could you just throw two top quality players together in a big match environment who hadn't played with each other together and expect results, or is it much harder than it looks, as most top tier sports tend to be?
I think if you are good doubles pairing, the chemistry between the two partners will always be excellent. You sort of know where he's going to place the ball, how he's going to return it, and in that sense, the other partner can then make some anticipation of the next moves that he should be making, because this will create better understanding between them. So I think two players who have played with each other for a longer period of time will definitely be more advantage than two star players coming together.
Well, these four boys familiar with each other's games. It's a lovely shot. It's probably the best shot that the Sunsport pairing have played so far today by Jaden Fu across the table to close the gap to within 1. As Daniel Ng comes up with a serve that he hopes will draw them level, and it does. It was straight into the net from Babing Shi. Lovely stuff. You talk about the chemistry there. Babing Shi knew exactly what his partner was doing and was comfortable in coming across and taking that on. Regains the lead for Safra 1 in game 2. Oh, look at that shot from Babing Shi. That was sensational, was it not, Bernard?
That was a fierce forehand that they have delivered to the Sunsport pairing. But I think Sunsport is fighting hard to try and at least get back into this game and try to level the score at 1 apiece.
Yeah, having worked so hard to draw level, they're now just trail by 1, but you've got no response when you get shots like that from Donovan Go. Marvellous stuff again. Two points away now then. Both those points will come on the Sunsport serve. Apologies, no, on the Safra serve. To take a 2-love lead in games. Oh, that's just superlative. They've got no answers at the moment, Sunsport, to play like that from Babing Shi, and it brings up game point, Bernard.
I would fancy Safra 1 to pick up this particular game and have a 2-0 lead. And
My
indeed,
word, that was very impressive. They've taken both the first 2 games by a scoreline of 11-7, and they need just one more to give Safra 1 a 2-rubber lead with just 3 to play as the players take their turnaround timeout. So start of the third game, can Safra 1 close out their second straight game victory in this match? They've won the first point of game number 3, and they look to have a really good rhythm, don't they, Bernard, Babing and Donovan?
yes, I think really this Safra pairing is in hot form now. You can tell they are trying to be aggressive and take the third game in succession in this first doubles match with Sunsports Junior.
As they always like to do, Bernard, because I know sometimes you have to disappear on an occasion to go and do this is your moonlighting here, of course, your main focus, I'm sure, on Safra 1, Safra A, I should say. What can you tell us about Lim Dao Yi and Regis Song in the next singles clash that's due up?
Well, actually, Regis is an up-and-coming young player.
I think we saw him play doubles yesterday, didn't we?
Yes. I think between these 3 or 4 players in Sunsport Junior, they have little between them. So I think they can alternate between singles and doubles easily. So today I think they're playing Regis, and Tawi is on the other side of the table for today's match.
Hopefully they make a better doubles to singles transition than you managed earlier. I'm being cruel there, sorry, I know it was a very big ask for you.
I think Tawi would hopefully be able to prevail and lead his team to victory. Although I think Regis would offer quite strong opposition for Tawi this morning, actually.
Will it be do or die for Sunsport in the next 3 rubbers, or the next rubber anyway, because it looks very much like they're going to go 2 down here. Managed to get to 4 all in the second game, but remember they were pitching really closely in the second game they're pitching close. This, of course, the third, and before the Sunsport boys just had no answer to the Safra 1 onslaught late on, but they've fashioned their way into the lead. They were 4-0 down here. They won 5 points on the spin, Sunsport.
Sunsport is staging a nice fight back.
Now goes 6-4 up.
And the Safra players are starting to make some errors. They got to make their game tighter and try to close in on the third game.
Look at this. Where's this come from? Lovely shot from Daniel Ng. Well, the response needs to come quickly in this third game from Safra, unless they want to take this to a 4th. And all of a sudden, the shoe is very much on the other foot.
They've gotten 6 or 7 straight points in a row, I think.
I think it's more than that. They were 4-0 up, weren't they, the other boys? It's 8 points straight. Incredible. Finally, they stopped the rot, but is it too little too late in the third game? Certainly will give the Sunsport Junior 2 pairing some confidence after some early struggles, but just like that, you've said this, Bernard, and it took you to say it to me yesterday until I really realised it. The momentum shift in these short course games up to 11 points can be frightening. In literally 25 seconds, as we're seeing here, a 4-point lead is down to a point.
Indeed, indeed.
And that's literally taken 20 seconds, that, and they could be about to tie it up. And they do. Well, astonishing. From 8-4 to 8-all.
In less than a minute.
Yeah, and now, of course, they'll fancy their chances of closing this one out. Still back the lead, though. And now 2 game points for the Sunsport boys. Are we going to get a bonus game that we didn't really expect on the evidence of what we saw in the first 2 games? Trying to stop them is Donovan Go, unable to do so. They take it 11 points to 8, and we will get a 4th.
And so the third game begins with Safra taking the first point of the 4th game, actually.
Do you think that was just a blip? What happened in the third there? Do you expect them to close this out in this 4th game?
I'm not quite sure. I think the Sunsports junior players are trying to stage a fight back, and I believe they have every ability to do so.
Well, they certainly showed some impressive form, but they even had a wobble, didn't they? 8-4 clear. They only just fell over the line in the third game, and this is not what they wanted to see. And I think you can see that look on the faces of Bei Bing-ji and Donovan Go. I think they were just a bit disappointed that they took their eye off the prize there in the third game. I think they fancied having a sit down and a glass of water by now.
Maybe they believe that history will repeat itself. All 4 down in the 4th game. They were all 4 down in the 3rd game as well. Nah,
Look at this.
0-5 now.
Yeah, it's going to take some coming back from this, but we saw it before, didn't we? 8-4 up. The lead disappeared in 25 seconds for Sunsport in the previous game, and they finally get on the board now. I'd love to know the average. I'm going to start timing it, I think. When we get another game that pits youth against experience, we're going to time the average shot duration and rally duration when it's the older players compared to the younger players. They are rapid, these boys. I think we've been calculating it's taken an average of 2 hours for each match to be played, as a timeout is called by the... I think who called that, actually? Has that been called by Safra?
It was
One.
called by Safra,
It was called by Safra 1, and is that the team manager there speaking to the boys?
Yes.
That's Ding Yao Liang, is it?
No.
No, it's not. He's listed as the team manager. Who would that be there?
Ding Alan was my partner yesterday.
Oh, of course. Sorry, so he's Alan. Of course, he's not
he's
here.
out of it today, so
So
one of the
that-
senior players is helping up.
Right. Of course, sorry, it confused me because it has his name listed as Ding Yao Liang, not Alan.
Yes.
I know him, of course, as Alan with the bad back is what
Yes.
I refer to him as now. So 5-2, they took that time out just to compose themselves and make sure, I think, that they didn't try and rush through the following points and make unnecessary mistakes. Some confusion as to whose serve it was. It's the serve of Jaden Fu, who will serve at 2-5 and 1-2. Went for it big there, didn't he, Babing Shi, and missed by quite a way.
Well, the tension is getting to both teams. For Safra 1 trying to close down this game, and for Sunsport trying to provide a strong challenge for the 5th game if they can.
Very impressive shot from Jaden Fu. Gets them back to within 1 here. And what were we saying about those big leads evaporating? They were 5-0. Now they're 5-4 on serve. And just like that,
It's 5-0
incredible.
now.
Well, that's some streak from Sunsports here. Well, where did this come from? We thought this was going to be over long ago, but all of a sudden Sunsports are threatening to take us to a 5th. Nothing that Babing Shi could do about that. Marvellous work from Jaden Fu, who's really leading from the front for Sunsport in this 4th game, and they've gone from 5-0 down to 6-5 up. Incredible turnarounds here in the last 2 games. More top work this time from Daniel Ng.
Very strong forehand by Daniel. Ooh, that was a fantastic shot by Donovan. Right down the line. I think he may have clipped the white line on the table.
Yeah, table tennis, the one sport where you're looking for the edge, literally, aren't you? You're looking for the edge in your game, and you're looking for the edge of the table. Big point that. It's Gira gaining them the lead. And if they can win the 2nd service point in this rotation off Jaden Fu, they'll be in a really strong position to close this out, but they can't, and it's 8 apiece.
In a piece.
Getting frustrated, aren't they, the Safra boys? You can see it, particularly Babing Shi. Needs to compose themselves here to try and close this out.
Oh, that was an excellent opportunity for Sunsports.
Just missed, didn't it? Wasn't much in it.
Yeah, I think Jenin was a bit excited about the high ball for him.
So will it be game point for one or match point for the other? It will be game point for Sunsport. So they trailed 2-0 here, and we're looking in big trouble in the 3rd game. They took the 3rd out and now have a point to make it 2 apiece. Oh, was that the spin there, or was it just the over-exuberance of youth misreading the flight? We're at juice. And now we're at match point, and Safra 1, a clench of the fists from Donovan Go. Can they close it out at their first opportunity? Match point, Safra 1 in the first doubles rubber. Jaden Fu to serve. Oh, it's off the net and long from Beibing and we go to juice again at 11-all.
Very exciting doubles match that we have here between Sunsport Junior and Safra 1.
Oh, he's about to smash the racket. Do you get code violations in table tennis? Thought the bat was going to be up against the table there, and now game point Sunsport to take us to 2-all. This has turned into an epic. Where did this come from? It looked like it was going to be a walk in the park for Beibing and Donovan about 15 minutes ago, and now all of a sudden it's in danger of becoming a classic. Are we set for a fifth game? No, we're not. It's back to juice. 18-16 is our record in terms of the most points of the game on the TV table so far. They've done it. They take it 14-12, and the pairing of Daniel Ng and Jaden Fu are going to take Safra, who looks set for a cruising victory to a fifth game. They take the fourth, 14-12.
Well, it could be anybody's game in the fifth, and I just hope that the Safra boys, I'm trying to be a bit less impartial here, that they will be able to make it for the fifth game.
So the fifth game, and this will be some turnaround if Sun Sports could pull this off. It'll be the comeback of the weekend so far. First blood in the crucial fifth, though, does go to Beibing Xi and Donovan Go. A reminder up next in the singles, it's Lim Dao Yi and Ri Jisong, but will it be a game with the match locked at 1 each, or will it be a game with Safra with a 2-0 lead? They take a 2-0 lead in this fifth game, make that 3, but they led 5-0 in the fourth and didn't come away with it. On serve, it's Donovan Go. First 4 points go the way of Safra 1's pairing. And the first mistake with that forehand going long from Donovan Go puts Sun Sports in business. Marvellous work from Daniel Ng, and he's getting Sunsport back into this. And both teams, when they hit the front, you get the feeling they just start to doubt themselves. They could do with a run of points here, and it's not happening for Safra 1. They've been pegged back to 4-3. That time Donovan Go with the mistake. Thrilling stuff this first doubles rubber in the Safra 1 Sunsport Junior 2 game. Just long from Daniel Ng. Oh, what a get that was. Sensational shot from Beibing Xi. And now they've opened up a gap of 3 points in this fifth. Beibing Xi with a shot of the game so far, brought the crowd to their feet here on the main table at the Artamani Sub-Community Auditorium. And they're both going through the repertoire now. Donovan Go's joining the party to make it 7-3. And it's the brave Sunsport fight back, going to fall just short. Now they're taking a bit more time between points. That's gone long from Beibing. So they're just about staying in touching distance, Sunsport, but can't afford any points runs for Safra 1 now. Babing serve. Oh, and Donovan Go with a follow-up goes long. The gap now back to 2 points and over to serve. It's Jaden Fu. Oh, that's a careless mistake from Daniel Ung. Up to 8-5. Oh, it's long from Daniel. 9-5. It looks like the fairy tale comeback isn't going to come to fruition. Taking their time. Donovan Go on serve for Safra 1. And unable to put it away was Babing Ji. 9-6. They just need to get you fancy to 10 with at least 3 match points at their disposal here. Otherwise the nerves really will kick in and they'll get 4. It was into the net from Daniel Ung. So Daniel Ung will now serve with Safra 1 in possession of 4 match points to take a 2-0 lead in this matchup against Sunsport Junior 2. They save 1. Into the net from Donovan Go. Can they save 2? Still Daniel Ung on serve for Sunsport. And that's it off the net cord. Babing Ji seals victory for Safra 1. They take it in an incredible roller coaster affair. 11-7, 11-7, 8-11, 12-14, 11-7. And up shortly it'll be the singles between Lim Dao Yi and Ri Jisong. What a game that was. Congratulations to all 4 players. Babing Ji, Donovan Go, Daniel Ung and Jaden Fu all played their part in a cracker. So here we go with the second singles rubber in the Safra 1 Sun Sports Juniors 2 matchup. What a shot that is to start proceedings. This is going to be a lively affair. Lim Dao Yi for Safra 1 on the far side. Near side for Sun Sports, it's Regis Ong, who of course we saw in doubles action yesterday, as Bernard was telling us. A very versatile young paddler. But he's being given plenty to think about here by Lim Dao Yi, who can confirm the match for Safra 1 with a win here. Give them a 3-0 unassailable lead going into the final 2. And I still must say, I haven't seen whether Sunsport have Alex Wong and Hung Ru Shuang here to play their doubles. Opening up a very quick-fire 5-0 lead is Lim Dao Yi. This is very impressive paddling straight at the blocks, and look at that forehand. Poor old Regis Ong doesn't know whether it's summer or winter. Being blown away here. Oh, this is rapid-fire table tennis now. Ah, good shot. Finally, Regis Ong, something to celebrate. A clever shot that wrong-footed Lim Dao Yi gets him on the board, but the damage may have been done in the context of this first game where he trails 7-1. Into the net from Regis, brings up 8-2. My word, this has got to be a candidate for the quickest game of table tennis we've had this weekend. Only been playing for a matter of 2 minutes. Let call there. That will prolong the game length just ever so slightly, but the rallies are fast and ferocious. Let call there. Delayed call from the line judge. Into the net again from Regis Ong, and he's just 2 points away from the opening game now. Lim Dao Yi, Safra 1 at this stage, looking very good to confirm the 2 points. And this is a great team performance from a very young Safra 1 side who have outperformed Safra A. And have got an outside hope of still lifting the title, even though Sunsport Elite, quite rightly, the defending champions, are still very, very warm favourites indeed. It's a rare mistake in this game for Lim Dao Yi. It's given the first game scoreline an error of respectability. Surely Regis Ong can't turn this one around though. Trailing 4-9 on serve, second of his rotation. Well, he's managed to get it more than respectable. It's almost competitive now. Remember, he trailed 6-love. Since then, it's been a run of 5-3 in the Sunsports man's favour. Now though, 2 serves for Lim Dao Yi to put it to bed, and he now brings up 5 game points. Can he get it done on the second of this service rotation? Ah, really good deception on the serve, and that will get it done by 11 points to 5. Lim Dao Yi and Safra 1 take the first game in the third rubber. They lead 2 matches to 0. As he did in the first game, it's a strong start from Lim Dao Yi, but as he didn't do in the first game, there's an early response from Regis Ong, who I think was taken a bit aback by the aggressive play of Lim Dao Yi, but now he's trying to answer back in kind. It's leading to some very exciting points, albeit very short points here. That goes long, brings up 3-1. Lim Dao Yi. Oh, lovely shot that. And the put away. All kinds of pressure for Ri Jisong there. Lim Dao Yi's work, sensational. High toss on the serve. And the spin, bamboozling Ri Jisong. It's off the net cord and long. Now it's 5-1. Ri Jisong trying to fight back and doing so with a lovely forehand straight through the table. Nothing that Lim Dao Yi could do about that. And he's battled back really well again here. And crucially, unlike the last game, he hasn't given Lim Dao Yi a 6-point head start. He did lead 5-1, Lim Dao Yi, now it's 5-4. Net on the second of his points on this service rotation. That's a big shot gone for very early on. And now he'll take over the serve, trailing by 2. Lim Dao Yi, let's see how quickly he attacks this serve of Ri Jisong. Well, it wasn't he that went on the attack first, it's Ri Jisong is feeling the pressure here to try and stay competitive and going for some big shots. Maybe patience might be the better part of valour here. It was a bit aggressive with the wrist from Lim Dao Yi straight off a serve. He's got the luxury of a 2-point cushion to be able to do that, and he can take serve now as well. Hold on a second, he's got it back again to just 1 point, and just when you think Lim Dao Yi has got things under control, he seems to stutter, and Ri Jisong stays competitive. It's all going to be about who makes the fewer mistakes, you feel, from now to the end of this game. And that is an unforgivable service mistake from Lim Dao Yi, and with some of the shots he'll be playing, I'll be wondering how on earth it's come to this. 7-all in the second. And Ri just picks up the lead. Well, I'm pretty sure this is Ri Jisong's first lead in the match. Can he close it out now? Well, it's looking like he might be able to. He's now 2 clear. Wow, just like the previous doubles match that ended up going to 5 games when we least expected it on the evidence of what we saw in the opening exchanges. We're going to get the same here, but he's pegged back to a 1-point deficit. Lim Dao Yi, he's looked the better shot maker against Ri Jisong, who's mixing the disciplines this weekend with a doubles action yesterday. But he's brought about 2 game points as Ri Jisong. Are we about to be all square at 1 apiece? He looks a bit downcast, Lim Dao Yi. Well, that's some turnaround from Ri Jisong after looking like he was struggling in large parts of the first game. He's taken the second. 11-8, and we're tied at 1 game each in this third rubber. Sunsport Juniors still alive in this batch. So third game underway. Lim Dao Ying pegged back to one each in that second game from Ri Song. That was a really impressive performance. And that was so powerful from Ri Song. He couldn't believe Lim Dao Yi got it back. And when it did come back, he wasn't prepared. He was almost celebrating the point had been won on the previous shot. And he's come back from behind in the second game, and he came back to even make the first game scoreline respectable. But you can't keep giving a player of the caliber of Lim Dao Yi these kind of opportunities in a 4-point start in the third game. And the man from Safra 1 seems intent now on not repeating its errors of game number 2. Oh, really cute table tennis from Lim Dao Yi, not going for too much too soon, and he forces the pressure on Ri Song and forces the mistake, and just like that it's 5-love. Ri Song, really cute serve, but the return was sensational from Lim Dao Yi, and it's 6. And you get the feeling Lim Dao Yi won't be for catching in this game. He's let big leads slip in both the first and second game. He got away with it in the first, didn't get away with it in the second. But now as he goes to 7-0, surely the third game is his for the taking. I'm still awaiting confirmation, by the way. I still don't see enough bodies on that Sun Sport Juniors bench to have the doubles take place. We'll get confirmation of that, I'm sure, very soon. It might all be a moot point, of course. Oh, what a return that is. Oh, look at this. Rally of the weekend for me so far, and it goes the way of Ri Song, who finally gets on the board in game number 3 at the 8th time of asking. Of course, if he did complete this miraculous comeback, Ri Song, the fact they didn't have enough bodies to play the doubles would be a huge waste and a forfeit, because the doubles team maybe not able to participate. And as I stress, they're still waiting confirmation of that. Berners seems to think they might be warming up in another part of the arena. That forfeit would automatically give Safra 1 already, regardless of what happens here with Lim Dao Yi and Ri Song. Enough in the bank to pick up the 2 points. 8-2, Lim Dao Yi. He'll probably feel this should be approaching match point. It's not. It's approaching game point in game number 3. But he does look like now he's found his stride and calmed himself down and looks to be cruising to victory. 8 game points to take a 2-1 lead. Lim Dao Yi facing the Ri Song serve. How many is he going to need? Just the one. He puts it away with aplomb. And now it's a 2-1 lead for Lim Dao Yi, and it's a long way back for Ri Song. Stay with us. Next game next. What a rally to start the 4th game. Ri Song, when he's on the wrong end of points like that, must wonder what he has to do to get the better of this man from Safra 1. Let cool there. And having completed an 11-2 rout in game number 3, you fancy Lim Dao Yi wants to put this to bed once and for all. It was a great spirited showing from Ri Song in the second. to level it up, and he's showing signs there that he's not done yet. Lovely forehand across the table, getting past Lim Dao Yi. Well, this is the closest that any of the 4 games have started, with a 2 each start. Lim Dao Yi, though, has just shown the ability to go on these magical bursts where Ri Jisong almost gets dizzy with the shot skills that are coming back at him, and another great forehand regains the lead for Lim Dao Yi. Well, again, he's doing just enough here to make Ri Jisong visibly a little bit dispirited. And that net cord just summing it up for Ri Jisong at the minute. Surely Lim Dao Yi's not going to throw this away from here. But he's taken the first and third games 11-5, 11-2. He was overwhelmed in the latter stages of game number 2 and lost it 8-11. But here he's cruising to victory now, 8-2, and it's just a matter of when, not if. The Safra 1 bench already seem to be celebrating here. This will guarantee them the 2 points and put them in pole position to finish. At this point, maybe not worse than second behind the defending champions and red-hot favourites. Sunsport Elite, oh, look at that. Battered it almost into the body of Ri Jisong. No malice intended. 8 match points for Lim Dao. Can he take the second consecutive game 11-2? Yes, he can. Great performance from Lim Dao Yi. A little blip in the middle, but he takes it 11-5, 8-11, 11-2, 11-2. And Safra 1 are guaranteed of the 2 points, and we wait to see if the doubles action advertised will take place. Scheduled next, it's Jensen Ko and Ho Ki Keng for Safra 1 against Alex Wong and Hung Fri Zhuang of Sunsport Juniors 2, before we have the singles matchup of Andy Wong and Ki Junshi. Stay tuned, we'll be with the action shortly. So thankfully we are going to get the doubles action advertised. It's Jensen Ko and Ho Ki Keng taking on Alex Wong and Hung Fri Zhuang. Of course, these are dead rubbers, but could still be valuable in terms of countback points. So we'll enjoy the warm-up and then be back with more live table tennis for you. A reminder, at 2 p.m. this afternoon, scheduled for 2 p.m. We'll be back with more live games, including our feature match at 2 p.m, which sees the favourites and defending champion Sunsport Elite taking on Safra A. Thanks. And then the final game of our live coverage here in 11 Sports, scheduled for a 4 p.m. start is KTS against the New Century Table Tennis Club 1 team. So the doubles action is underway. Nearest to us for Sun Sports, Alex Wong and Hongru Shuang. On the far side for the already winners, Safra 1 of the matchup, Jensen Ko and Ho Ki Keng. So Sun Sports opening up an early lead. The Safra pairing of the experienced Ho Ki Keng, the gentleman in the glasses on the right, and on the left Jensen Ko on serve. And that was a nice shot from Ho Ki Keng, gets them back level. Well played that from Jensen Ko. He's keeping them in touch here, but still the Sunsport pair of Alex Wong and Hung Ru Shang just edging this opening game of this second doubles rubber of the match. And that's off the target from Jensen Ko. So Sunsport's looking for their first pick-up of a rubber in this matchup, in a strong position in the opening game. And that's gone long that time, and just like that, been a feature of this morning's play, how quickly the turnarounds can come. We're tied at 8 apiece. Safra, who've dropped games in 2 of the rubbers so far, but managed to win all 3 of them. And the turnaround almost complete here. Ho Ki Kang on serve has got them to within 1 point of 2 game points that would come if they win this one on the Alex Wong serve. And that's gone long, so it's 9 apiece instead. This one's going nip and tuck down to the wire. Oh, lovely shot from Ho Ki Kang, putting Sunsports under pressure, and does bring up the first game point of this matchup to Safra 1, and it's finished brilliantly by Jensen Ko. They take it 11-9. Safra in the driving seat in rubber number 4, leading 3-0 already. So second game, they survived a scare, Jensen and Ho Ki Kang, but they came through 11-9. Can Sunsport reply in the second? Sunsport on the far side in the black and yellow, represented by Alex Wong and Ho Ri Shuang. Jensen Ko and Ho Ki Kang of Safra 1 nearest to us. Just like they did in the first game, the stronger start being made by the Sunsport pairing. That was that cheap point to give up there. Chance for Ho Ki Kang to level it up on the second of his service rotations. Got a great forehand in there, Sunsport, and Ho Ki Kang's effort to get it back just long. That was an acrobatic vault over the side hoarding by Ho Ki Kang. Keen to get on with things. They trail by a point. They win both points on the Sunsport service rotation there, and Ho Ki Kang is really, it's a bit like the Karate Kid and Mr. Miyagi. These pairing for Safra 1. Daniel's son being played by Jensen Ko, Mr. Miyagi, Ho Ki Kang. Wax on, wax off. Jensen Ko to serve. Well, they've regained the lead, having had a slow start here. And it's just great to see Ho Ki Keng attacking the table. Some of his shots are being played almost by the net. And he's going for placement rather than power. And look at the guiding advice he's giving Jensen Ko, who's all ears as well. It's all gone a bit wrong for Sunsport. They're showing glimpses, but they're just struggling to deal with the Ho Ki Keng placement game. It's a nice contrast, Jensen Ko and Ho Ki Keng. Jensen tends to be the power player, but Ho Ki Keng, when there's an opportunity to go close to the net, his placement is superb. Jensen Ko on that occasion off target, makes it 7-all. Oh, lovely shot from Sunsport there. Ho Ki Keng thought he'd done enough to win that point, but they've managed to regain the lead in game number 2, Sunsport. This, though, was where Safra 1 came strong in the first game, the 16th point onwards. And for once, Ho Ki Keng's deft touch doesn't have the desired effect. And now they trail by 2, and they'll have to defend 2 serves from Sunsport as well. Defended the first one well enough. Another shot that goes long from the Wong Hungry Shuang combination. Still got a chance to bring about game point here though. But again, same outcome from the same shot. The spin from Ho Ki Keng bamboozling Sunsport, and it goes well long. And now with Ho Ki Keng with the ball in hand, you would fancy Safra 1 are red hot favourites now, having come from behind to take this second game and make it 2-0. Instead, they'll face game point. It's good hustle from the Sunsport pair, and Ho Ki Keng just sat back and let Jensen Ko run that point, really. And it didn't have the positive outcome that Safra 1 were looking for. Can they take us to juice? Yes, they can. This time, Jensen Ko was right on the money. And we go to juice. Just long off the net cord. That was great work from Jensen Ko. A fist bump with Ho Ki Keng, and they bring about their first game point in the second. Can they make it 2-0 at the first time of asking? Jensen Ko serve. Ho Ki Keng forces the mistake again. And once more they come through a tight game to take it 12-10. And Safra 1, having already sewn up the match, are now intent on sewing up the fourth rubber. They lead 2-0 against the Sunsport pairing of Alex Wong and Hung Ru Shang. So third game, and it's still or die for Alex Wing and Hung Ru Shing now. And they've lost the first point of this third game. We've still got the singles rubber to come here. It'll be Andy Wong against Ki Shu Shea. As the arena begins to empty as people break for lunch. We'll be back after that next singles with our 2 afternoon offerings for you. which we'll see at 2 p.m, an estimated start time of 2 p.m. for Safra A against Sunsport Elite. Our very own Bernard 10 in action on that one, and it'll be fascinating to see the Sunset Elite team, who are seemingly destined to win the championship again this weekend. And then at 4 p.m, scheduled start time for KTS against New Century Table Tennis Club 1. And even if by that point Sunsport Elite have all but wrapped up the league title, there are still second, third, fourth placing and of course relegation issues to deal with. So plenty at stake in our afternoon games, coming to you live in 11 Sports and the Sttp Facebook pages. It's the 2018 Singapore National Table Tennis League, presented by ATT Systems, platinum sponsor Teach House, Copytron Table Tennis Club, the gold sponsor, and our silver sponsor Anson. Meanwhile, in this doubles affair, it seems to be meandering to an inevitable conclusion of a straight game victory. Ho Ki Keng and Jensen Ko, the blend of youth and experience, have played really well together today. Jensen Ko still a little bit hit and miss, but he's always got Ho Ki Keng alongside him, trying to guide him. Oh, just catching the edge there. Nothing Jensen Ko could do about that. The acknowledgement went up with a hand. They've still got a healthy lead of 3 points, though. Second service point rotation for Sunsport. Oh, lovely shot from Jensen Ko. The return very nearly clipped the table, but now just 3 points away from a straight games victory and to give Safra a 4-0 lead in rubbers with just the singles to come. Didn't expect that to drop, did he, Jensen? I think it got maybe a bit of the edge as well. They all count, though, and they're now back to within 2, Sunsport. Can Safra limp over the line now? They're clearly targeting Jensen Ko out of the 2 players, this Sunsport pairing. They get the gap down to within 1. Oh, lovely finish. Sunsport's level it up at 8 apiece. Well, they had game point to take the third and couldn't, to take the second game, I should say, and couldn't capitalise. Can they fashion a game point in the third, Sunsport? Oh, again, that was the same errors they were making in the second game that cost them. And now a chance on the Jensen Ko serve. Let called. Lovely shot. Ho Ki Keng brings up match point. 2 of them for Safra ones. Jensen Ko and Ho Ki Keng against Anix Wong and Hong Rung Shuang of Sunsport. And they get it done at the first time of asking. Jensen Ko and Ho Ki Keng win 11-9, 12-10, 11-8. A solid performance from the mixture of youth and experience of Safra 1. They now lead 4 rubbers to 0. And the single will be on the way next. Andy Wong against Ki Junshi. And so we're back with more live action. It's the final singles rubber of this matchup between Safra 1 and Sunsport Juniors 2. Safra 1 still in the hunt for the top spot here. Unlikely as it may seem, it's mathematically possible they can catch Sunsport Elite, the stronger of the Sunsport teams in Division 1. But regardless, they've already sewn up the 2 points here. And with their impressive victory here, could get even more impressive if Andy Wong, of course, beats Kei Shun-shi here. They'd be looking very strong on countback, and at very worst might be looking at second spot. They take a 2-0 lead early here against Kei Shun-shi of Sunsport in the black and yellow. Looking strong early as Andy Wong. Just misses the edge of the table with that time though. It's been a long weekend for Sunsport Juniors 2. They've been on the wrong end of some comprehensive defeats, but they've got valuable experience here. And all the players will improve for it this weekend, even if unfortunately relegation may await them at the end of the day's proceedings, which is looking increasingly likely. Too long there from Kei Shun-shi. Enables Andy Wong to open up another 3-point gap. Eight-4 lead. Andy Wong has opened up here, looking very good to pick up the first game. They've had 2 wins in straight games in these matches against Sunsport Junior Safra 1. And the other 2 well, the first one went to distance, didn't it? That great doubles encounter between Bei Bing-shi and Daniel Wong in the previous match. Before Jensen Ko's and Huki Kang's double win. Lim Dao Yi took 4 games to beat Ri Jasong, but in very quick time Andy Wong looks about to secure the first game in this final rubber at the end of the morning session. And security does by 11 points to 5. So Safra 1, one of the surprise packages, outperforming even their going into this, some would say, more illustrious teammates of Safra 8. They're in a good spot here. Already picked up the 2 points and they're looking fixed for a 5-0 win. So, second game, and it's Andy Wong picking up where he left off at the end of the first. He's in cruise control here against Keishan Shi. The arena here, the 34 tables, 92 teams across 6 divisions, beginning to thin out as everyone breaks for lunch. We'll be breaking for lunch after this match as well on the table 18, the TV table. We'll be back at around 2 p.m. for the afternoon session, beginning with Safra A against Sun Sports Elite. That's stood out since yesterday as a must-watch game, with Sun Sports Elite unbeaten so far. But Safra A looking to get their campaign back on track after suffering some unexpected losses today with a depleted squad. And then we'll finish off the streaming coverage here live from the Tampines South Community Auditorium with KTS against New Century Table Tennis Club. And that could be a game that has big implications on the placings. So make sure you join us at 2 p.m. live here at the ATT Singapore National Table Tennis League 2018. Just a bit too exuberant there, Andy Wong, with that wristed backhand. There's something you don't see every day. A table tennis ball just came out and smashed my computer screen. Luckily not broken. And also we had a service ace there. I was slightly distracted by the table tennis ball coming into my screen, but unless I'm much mistaken, that was a service ace we saw there from... Well, it must have been from Andy Wong. I do apologise, distracted by that table tennis ball. Andy Wong again, stretching clear mid-game in this second. Not too much Keishan Shi seems to be able to do about it either. He's up against it here. Bit harsh to say he's outmatched, but he's certainly coming off second best at the moment. Andy Wong just really working that backhand well, going through the gears and forcing the mistakes out of Keishan Shi. Too long from Andy Wong on that occasion, but it does appear to be just delaying the inevitable here. That's flicked off the net and long from Keishan Shi, brings up another 5 game points. Andy Wong won the first game 10-11-5. He looks set here to win the second by a similar scoreline. He'll win it by an exact scoreline. The spin on the serve, bamboozling Keishan Shi once again. Andy Wong takes the second 11-5, leads 2-0. As we head up to the lunch break here at the ATT Singapore National Table Tennis League 2018, presented by ATT Systems, Platinum sponsor Teach House, Gold sponsor Koppichon Table Tennis Club, and the silver sponsor Anson. Live on 11 Sports and the Sttp Facebook pages this weekend here in sunny Singapore. So the third game's underway, and a point start for Keishan Shi. Importantly, makes a good start here because he's really struggled to live with Andy Wong in the middle to latter parts of all these games. He's come out here with a renewed confidence and maybe just going for broke, and that was certainly impressive table tennis. Brings up a 2-point lead in the third. Of course, at this point, with the match already gone for Sunsport and trailing 2 games to do in this rubber, Keishan Shi can just go for everything he likes and see if some of it will stick. Pressured into losing the point there on his backhand. So every point in this game so far has gone against the server. Not that time though. It's the time for Andy Wong to be confused by the spin. Well, this is more like it from Keishan. She's taking some time to warm up, but he looks to have found a groove now. I think it's very much hit and miss though, this nothing to lose, attack-minded table tennis. Looks spectacular when it comes off, but he was a long way long on that forehand. Very powerful attempt at a service return. Into then he goes with that one. And just like that, Andy Wong has closed the gap to 4-3. He's showing some determination here, which is nice to see. Trainington, it would have been easy for Keishan Shi to let his head drop, but he's just still edging ahead here. Unable to get that serve back though from Andy Wong. You get the feeling Keishan Shi needs to be about 8-9-4 up here to guarantee to getting a game on the board. Anything less than that and you still think Andy Wong's got it in the locker to reel him in. But again, it's Andy Wong's turn to be stumped by a serve. Just left him all over the place, that one. Great serve in Keishan Shi. When he gets it right, it does look spectacular. But when he gets it wrong like he does there, the good serves are wasted. Just a dry down of the paddle from Keishan Shi. The gap is at 2. Andy Wong with 2 big service points. If he wins them both, surely he's destined to win this in straight sets, in straight games. Misses out on that point though. So again, Keishan Shi has got a nice 3-point buffer, needing just 3 more to get to that magic number of 11. Oh, lovely shot, Keishan Shi. He's in pole position now, make no mistake about that. Can he get a game on the board? And if he only trails 2-1, and Andy Wong, as he appears to have done in this game, takes his intensity level down a little bit. Now that might be a bit disrespectful to Keishan Shi. It's been more a question of him upping his game than I think Andy Wong showing any kind of disrespect or lack of intensity. And at 10-5, we surely are now destined for a 4th game. Indeed we are. Great table tennis from Keishan Shi. He was thoroughly, comprehensively outpointed in the first 2 games by 11-5, but he's turned the tables on his Safra 1 opponent by taking the third 11-5 himself, and we go to a 4th next on 11 Sports. Fourth game underway, a point apiece. Can Andy Wong get his intensity levels back, or can Qi Shengxi continue that sustained improvement he showed in the third game? It was no fluke. He deserved that 11-5 win. All three games have been one-sided, two of them in favour of Andy Wong, one of them in favour of Qi Shengxi. One thing's for sure, Safra won on the evidence of what we've seen, purely based on this TV table. It's difficult to make assumptions of what's been going on in the games they've played outside of the TV arena. The results suggest that what I'm about to say is true, but Safra won have got a very strong case to have performed as the second best team here so far, behind Sun Sport Elite, who look destined to defend their crown. And certainly they've outperformed their teammates at Safra 1. Oh, he went for it big there, Andy Wong. But great defensive hustle from Qi Shengxi. Keeps him in touching distance in this fourth game. And he has to deliver it up. Well, he's really got a spring in his step now, Qi Shengxi. And Andy Wong, just a bit subdued. He needs, I think, a couple of big points to get him back on track here. Otherwise, he might be destined for a fifth game. Oh, that's more like it. That forehand from Andy Wong is what we were used to seeing in the first two games. And maybe that will be the shot that inspires him on now to follow this through and close it out. Takes a long term on the serve. High ball toss. Oh, look at the spin there. That was a sensational, almost like a trick shot from Andy Wong. Andy Wong now just keeping his nose in front as we get to this mid part of the fourth game. Big service point this for Qi Shengxi, and he picks it up to make it 5 apiece. He's certainly battling. Andy Wong is going to need another 2 top-class serves to try and get his nose in front to close this out in 4 games. Oh, the net cord not helping Qi Shengxi on that occasion. And one half of the job is done. Andy Wong, I'm sure, would want to maintain both these service points. He's got one. And now he's got the other. A delightful forehand straight down the line. Nothing that Qi Shengxi could do about that. And, of course, the pressure is now massively on the Sunsport Junior athlete to try and win not just one, but both of his service points. Taking his time, which is the right thing to do. But Andy Wong now, I think, has had enough messing around. He wants to close this out. Oh, that's it. Andy Wong is back in the fourth to the force he was in the first and the second. And at 8-5, surely now he'll go on to close this out. All 3 previous games have been an 11-5 scoreline. 2 to Wong, 1 to Qi Shengxi. Is history going to repeat here in the fourth? Maybe, because at 9-5, 2 points away from victory, Andy Wong has 2 serves to close it out. Oh, lovely stuff. Great hustle from Qi Shengxi to make sure it's not another 11-5 scoreline, but he's still got a lot of work to do. If he can win this point on his second of his service rotations, Andy Wong will have 4 match points, but he can't. And Qi Shengxi, having lost both his own service points, pinches the brakes back off the Andy Wong serve. He still, though, is 2 behind. No mistakes can be afforded now for Qi Shengxi. And he hasn't made a mistake there. He's forced Andy Wong into one. And the gap is just 1, and is Andy Wong beginning to doubt himself again? The same striding around, looking to the heavens we saw in the third game. He badly needs a point here, not just to bring up match points, but to get his mind back on track. Qi Shengxi means business. Oh, the ball's come on. Just what you need at a very dramatic point. A ball straying on from an adjacent practice table. Luckily, neither of the 2 players that adversely affected by it, but Qi Shengxi looked to have put in a decent serve there and have to do another one now after that let. And that goes long, and it does bring up match points. Keishing, she can't believe it. He thought that was an opportunity. And now 2 match points on the Andy Wong serve to close this one out, 3-1. This will be a clean sweep, a 5-0 win for Safra 1, and they get it done. Andy Wong wins 11-5, 11-5, 5-11, 11-8. And Safra 1 beats Sunsport Juniors 2 by 5 rubbers to 0. Chia Junyen, Beibeng Zi, Donovan Go in their doubles match. Lim Dao, Jensen Ko and Ho Ki Keng in their doubles. And then just now Andy Wong all get the job done. And Safra 1 are making a late charge for the title here. And surely, at the very worst, they should be booked for second spot. How will it all pan out? We'll find out later on today. Congratulations to our other winners this morning. KTS, who beat Safra A by 4 rubbers to 1. And join us at an estimated 2 p.m. start time, Singapore time, for our 2 afternoon offerings on this TV table. It'll be Safra A against the defending champions and favourite Sunsport Elite first, followed by, with an estimated start time of 4 p.m, KTS against the New Century Table Tennis Club 1 team. But for now, we'll sign off on 11 Sports from the 2018 ATT Singapore National Table Tennis League. We'll see you back here at 2 p.m. sharp for more great table tennis action.